Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? I hope you guys are currently enjoying the convention so far. I personally have been enjoying the convention so far. But hello, everyone. I am so glad to be here today to demonstrate a lot of comic illustrations and drawings that I just love to do. And I'm quite pleased to be here today and to just showcase you what I love to do every day in solitude. But yeah, anyways, just a little bit of more context of me. I have a dual PC, so I have the other one kind of set up so that I can pull the slides in. So uh, don't mind me if I'm unable to like show you the pictures because I have to like grab my mouse and stuff. So yeah. But anyways, how about before we start, I want to give a little context about me. So my name is Snogwritts. I have been drawing for about 7 years. I've been doing it for quite a long time, and I find great passion in drawing and would definitely like to pursue it as a career one day. I'm currently 19 years old. Some of you may have known me for my painting that I sold at the BronyCon convention, the BronyCon art show. Yeah, it was the very last one. It was a cozy glow painting, and it had a bunch of chessmen on it. And it was in the front of the art show. It sold for a lot of money, and it went for a good cause, which is great. And I'm very glad about that. And just me, I'm just a huge lone wolf who just loves to create. And that's all you guys really need to know. But that is right there, the little picture you see is my OC. That is me. I forgot my glasses in that picture, but that's okay. But anyways, how about we get started? So I made a bunch of slides for this stream so that things could be a lot more presentable and easier for everybody. So when it comes to making comics, I think one of the biggest things that I can tell everybody is the fact that you need to plan out exactly what you want to do. Like, I think that's the biggest piece of advice I can give. And while I'm keeping the stream more towards beginners, so I'm just kind of keeping it basic for everybody right now. So I separated everything you need to make an interesting comic into three categories. Those are called space, gesture, and shading and color. So I wanted to describe each of these elements, starting with space. So space is kind of like, kind of like when you see a character that's in like a bedroom, for instance. You see all the lights, all the curtains, all the things are on the floor, probably some debris around, or there's some dust. Anything that is considered space, anything that is like a subway, a train, an environment, anything like that. So I have a couple of examples right here. These are a couple of panels from my comic. As you can see, one of these is showcasing space by showing a large news station in two-point perspective. You have little buildings in the back with that blimp in the background with a few clouds and a little bit of a carpet under the door. The one right next to it is another example. This is a picture I did for Premeditated. This wasn't for the comic, but it was for a different video. And as you can see, you have the two characters in the front, Winter and Snog, which are the main protagonists of the comic. And you can see that they're in this nice gallery kind of carnival kind of environment with a card in the background and a crescent moon with a table. It showcases a lot of depth and space. That's kind of how like you draw people into comics, is the fact that you kind of immerse them into that world. Anytime you play a game or a movie and you get immersed into the fantasy or sci-fi kind of world that they demonstrate, it kind of really intrigues you to take a look at it, learn more about it, who runs the world, who has power, and things like that. And lastly, you have a reporter up there just showing a little bit of a newsroom, and the other one is just a plain old subway inspired by New York, which is where I'm from. I'm a New Yorker. But I don't live in New York anymore, but this comic, at least the locations in this comic, were hugely inspired from New York. So yeah, that is space. We got the other one. Alrighty, so the next one is going to be about gesture. So gesture in simplistic terms is basically the motion of a character. So something like somebody pointing at something, or somebody yelling at the top of their lungs and they're clenching their fists because they're so angry. That's what gesture is. And gesture is very powerful in comics because it really just kind of expresses movement in something. So, for instance, I have a couple of examples here. I really want to start with the one on the bottom because that's just like the best example I got. So, as you could see in the dialogue, Judman is asking, "Where did you get that?" And then Winter just comes in, holds her hoof on her chest, and then he's like, "I stole it." Because I kind of positioned her in a way that is kind of like she's proud and like, you know what, she doesn't care that whoever stole this car because she's exactly proud for it. So I put her head tilt up, I could put her hoof on her chest, and then I put her holding in a parallel stance saying, you know what, I did steal it. You know, that's how powerful gesture can be. And as you can see for Dudman, you know, he has his hoof up, he has his eyes widened with his expression, is like he's incredibly surprised. Over here we have another example. This is another winter thing that I did. It was out of nowhere. And you can see that she's saluting a kind of like a saluting stance with a few injuries on her leg just to showcase her character and how persistent she is. And the other one actually is, it was a Cozy Glow painting I did for another convention, but I didn't finish it yet. But you'll be able to see the colored version of it a little later. But as you can see with this character, you can see that she's feeling all upset, all tiresome. She feels like she's done with life and she just wants to get rid of it. And you can see that she's holding a flower, holding her head down, pouting herself, lowering her body, feeling like she is nothing. And you just kind of emphasize that throughout it. And that's kind of how like gesture works. Like gesture and expression kind of work hand to hand. And if you're able to implement those two things, you'll be able to draw readers a lot more. Definitely gesture is one of the most important things about comics, because if you can bring a lot of gesture into people and gesture into characters and expressions, people will most likely be drawn into it a lot more. But yeah, that is gesture. Let me... And the last thing I need to talk about is called shading and color. So for this demonstration purposes, I am actually not coloring the comic because the comic itself is actually black and white. So I just use a bunch of techniques for pencil drawings in order to detail things in the comic. But shading and color can definitely give an impact to where you want someone to look at. So I have an example here. You can see that there's Winter and Snog with a giant ship that's going about to be blow up. And as you can see, I put a bunch of shading onto the airship because I wanted to draw everyone's eyes into the airship. Kind of generally speaking, whenever you want to do shading, you definitely want to put the most detailed parts as your focal points. And what I mean by focal points is that, let's say you have a scene, you have like a bed for instance, and you want your viewer to see the character more. Then give the character a lot of detail and shade it a lot. And trust me, it will work almost all the time. The human eye is more naturally drawn into detailed things. I mean, it's only obvious. I mean, if you would come into a store and you would see things much more detailed than something else, then it would draw your eye into it a lot more. And as you can see on the other one, I use shading to calibrate the bread with a little bit of a wine bottle on the side. On the bottom, I really like the way I use this. This is a panel from chapter 2. And what I did is that Snog was like incredibly pissed about Winter eating all of his food in his fridge. So what I did is that when I did the kind of yelling scene, I kind of made him just tilt his head up, put a large speech bubble, and put a bunch of black stitches on the back just to emphasize his shouting. And this is I'm not showcasing color in this demonstration, but I do have an example for you guys. So this is the Cozy Glow one that you saw previously. I'm still working on this. It's not finished, of course, but it's a good way to show how you can use color in your comics. I definitely think that one of the biggest things you should use for your comics, specifically, is the fact that you need to blend colors together and make sure that you use the brightest colors into your focal points. If you can use your brightest colors and you can blend those things with lighting, then they will all work together and to draw your viewer into wherever they want to go. Really, the basics of shading and color really goes down to where do you want somebody to look at? Like, what is the first thing you want someone to look at when you make a drawing? And I think it's not just in comics, but in art fundamentals in general. Whenever you make a painting, you want to make sure that you want to know where do you want someone to look at first, because that will guide them towards what the piece is going to be about or what you're trying to express. But yeah, that is shading and color. And they're all the three elements that I wanted to showcase for this stream. So for now, I'm going to give a little bit of a demonstration. I have, let me go grab it real quick. There you go. Now you see my monitor. Now you see the lovely drawings I have done here. So this is a page of my comic. This is page 69. As you can see, I finished a little bit of it. I have 4 panels here and one really large panel right here. I finished this like around 3 days ago, and I wanted to save this one specifically for the stream because I wanted to demonstrate exactly all the elements that I just showed. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So let me just get rid of all these scribbles. I was just warming up there. So as you can see, I already set up all the guidelines for the 1-point perspective because that's the space I'm going to make. So in this scene, I want to make a dark alleyway with a dumpster and a bunch of filth. And that's my goal. So I know what I want to draw. I know what I'm visualizing exactly what I want to have in this scene. I want to have dumpster with a character in the middle being all lonesome and worried, and have a little bit of a text box in the bottom. So to start that, I'm going to give it a try. So let's see. So I already set everything in 1-point perspective. So I'm gonna just calmly oh crap, I run on the wrong layer. That happens to all of us, right? We just draw on the wrong layer. Come on, all you artists know how I feel when we draw on the wrong layer. It sucks, no cap, it really does. So I'm just gonna align all my lines right here. Just map out exactly where I want everything to be. I think the walls should be here. I think that would be a better solution. Just map out the walls. Just map this out. Okay, there we go. There's the walls. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw lines here so I know what I want to do. Just give myself a little guideline so I know exactly where I want to put all the objects. Just line these through. I think the top of the building can be like this kind of like, maybe in the back of the building it could be kind of be like a restaurant where like it just has a huge dumpster and there's like a bunch of rats on the floor. I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah, so let's try that. So let me just add a little bit of a rectangular prism here so I can mark exactly what it is. This is going to be a sign, but the sign's going to be a little degraded. I'm just going to add this through. Maybe have this a little neon sign to say, maybe I can make this restaurant maybe a noodle shop. I like noodle shops. Noodle shops are pretty sick. I know in New York they have a lot of pizzerias though. I love pizza. It's one of my favorite foods. Okay, so I set the sign up. So let me let these supporting brackets right here. Usually in stores they have this like kind of like a railing where there's a railing on 2 sides, and then in the middle is like a bunch of ridges where they put all their great closing so that no one can bust in. So I'm just gonna quickly just put the lines here so I know what I'm doing. This is gonna be like a compactor, similar to like how you see trucks go inside to deliver goods to the stores that need it, like one of those things. Oh crap! I did not want to do that. Sorry. Okay. So I already got this done. So I got the compactor. Let me mark the floor a little. Let me just establish that. Definitely, when you're making space in a comic, one of the best things you can do is establish the floor. At least me personally, I like to start with the walls, but some other people like to start with the floor just to know exactly what level of space they're working at. So for the floor, I'm visualizing this as a dark alleyway. So what I'd like to do is I like to just maybe add a few cracks there. I can add the cracks later. What I'm doing is I'm establishing all my forms so that I know exactly where to put everything. The dumpster can be right here. I think right here would be a good dumpster. So we can have this as a focal point, and then we can have balcony right here as another focal point. Right now the dumpster is just gonna look like a cube, but once we get everything else done, it will start to look like a dumpster. So let me just slice these through so I know what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm done with establishing space, so I know where everything's gonna be. And now here's the fun part. Well, sort of the fun part. Where you get to do a bunch of sketches and lay out exactly what you want your environment to look like. So let me just lower the opacity of this just a little bit, just so you can be easier. I don't need these lines anymore. Actually, you know what? Excuse me. Let me put a line in the middle here so I know where it ends. There we go. Alright, I can disable this. So let me just get into freeform and let us sketch freely. So I guess what I can start with is the character. So we already got the space established. So let me just start with a character. I'm gonna have this character facing at a 3x4 in this direction, with his head poking like this. And I'm gonna go check up on the scale to make sure I get all that too. But yeah. Algody's a female, so I'm going to make her neck thinner. Let me just mark the side of her hair. Let me make my pen a little smaller. It's a little not pen, pencils. Snoggy, it's a pencil. So let me just give her a little bit of a frown. Let me mark her eye right here. Just give her a little bit of a sad expression. Let me give her some lowered ears. Add her hair. Well, in this case her mane, but same thing. Let's run this through. Definitely one of the biggest things when you're making comics is try to see if you can place everything accordingly. You know, you wouldn't want to place something at a place where like no one's barely gonna see it. You know, you want to have you want to put your characters and your showpieces in places where the reader would find, how do you say, easier to find. You know, like you don't put the dumpster all the way to the edge. Like put it in the middle or put it on a rooftop or anything like that so that the reader can notice it. So I'm gonna go lay out the legs right here. So this leg is facing at this angle, so I'm going to add that form to it. And this leg is gonna face this angle, so I'm gonna sketch that out. Definitely in the rough stage of drawing characters, just feel free, like do all the changes you want. Try and do some anatomy, put some theory, draw the hooves, draw the face, put some details on. Do whatever you gotta do. Be free in this stage, because the refined stage is really where you're just gonna touch everything up and make everything look nice. Okay, let me just let me just make sure that her hooves are in perspective too. So I'm gonna put a line here so I know exactly where to go. And then I'm gonna, oh crap, I did not want to do that. Freaking Autodesk. Sorry. That happens. Okay, so let me just fix her hoof a little. And maybe I can, I don't think her other hoof is gonna be visual here. So I think I can leave it for now. Alrighty, this is a good basic sketch of the character I want. So, I guess in scale of this, I guess what I can do is I can just shrink this down and just put it in the middle like that. Yeah, like this. Oh crap, I didn't want to tilt it. There we go, much better. A little bigger. I think that's fine. I guess since I have a lot of empty space here, I could put the text box for the dialogue up there. Alrighty, so character's done. Let's see. I guess maybe I can start modeling this this little story right here. So let me add. So I'm gonna go draw out the sign right here. Jeez. Using these controls can certainly be annoying at times because like you just gotta like make sure everything is properly aligned with her vanishing point. Maybe we can just mark as like, we can write a little thing like says noodles. What I can do is I can shade the bottom and make this really bold so that the viewer can see the shop. Add a little bit of shading here, and when I'm gonna shade the little bars in the bottom, I'm gonna make sure that it's visible. Okay. Oh crap! My hand just glitched. Okay, so let me mark this down. I'm gonna put the sign up here. Make sure that it's here. What? So a little bit of a context about this comic series. So this is a comic series I've been working on for about 2 years. It's called Cult Bin and the Frozen Scriptures, and it's literally about a teenage boy who used to commit a lot of crimes, and he is now deserted and living on his own. But he was taken care of by a griffin named Cookie, and since her tribe, which the griffin, because he was part of a griffin tribe, is currently going at war. So he is called back to fight in the war, and he is not very happy about it because he doesn't wish to steal anything anymore. And then the whole entire premise of the comic starts from there. He meets a bat pony named Winter, and they go together to fight the Order of the Night, which is a group of bat pony bandit thieves that decide that, hey, you know what? We don't like sharing our land anymore. We want it all for ourselves. And thus, the Order of the Night has been made. But if you're interested in reading the comic or anything like that, you can certainly go to my DA at the same name, Snogwritts, Snogwritts, or you can watch the dubs that I made on my channel too, if you prefer that. But there's something for everybody, whether you want to read it or want to watch it. I really enjoyed doing the dubs. Like, those were really fun. I had such a wonderful experience with it, and like getting voice actors was definitely a challenge when I was doing that. But it was certainly a fun and thrilling experience. Also, it was pretty editing hell, if you ask me. Like, honestly, I can't. How long did it took to make the second? The second one took me forever, dude. I think the second one took me like, I think it was like 27 hours to edit. Like, it was crazy, bro. Honestly, it was absolutely crazy how long I had to spend in order to get everything done. But I put love and passion into that, and anything done with love is going to take time. So by all means, don't, especially if you're doing projects of your own, don't feel bad of how long you take, as long as you make them good. And that's kind of how it is with anything that is art or media related, or anything that it is within the arts. Things that take time to make, like animation, 3D modeling, rigging, and paintings. Anything like that is always going to take a lot of time. But I think as an artist, I think a lot of people need to learn to be patient. And it certainly was a struggle of mine too, that you need to learn to be patient with your drawings. So you need to learn to add those details, to take your time, because if you rush art, you're just gonna get some crummy kind of goop, and it just won't look as good. And you just kind of think to yourself, "Oh, I probably should have taken more time into this, so that I can make everything look nicer." It happens to all of us. Myself, I'm an impatient person, so I like to do things a lot quicker and a lot more effective. And while that is something that can be advantageous to drawing, the faster you draw, you can make more drawings. But also the fact that, you cannot really rush art. You can to an extent, but you can't really rush it. It's not something you can just say, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get it done in one day. I mean, some things you can get done in one day, but most of them you can't. It doesn't really work like that. You kind of have to take the time to express everything you can in that one piece, because that's what makes the greatest pieces in the world. Is expressing everything you can in one piece with all the color and tools you have. And if you utilize them well, you can make an iconic piece. Some of the greatest artists in the world, like one of my favorite is Leonardo. I always loved the way that he used color and the way he used different elements in a way that not many other artists use them for. Like, he created a lot of the artistical theories we use today, like ambient occlusion, and even color theory to an extent. Like, he was a very impactful person towards the art community. He was definitely one of my favorite artists of the Renaissance, and I do take inspiration from him for my paintings, because he was awesome. He was pretty cool, guys. But yeah. Anyways, I already got this done. I already mapped this out, and I'm right now I'm mapping out the dumpster. I'm just using a bunch of rectangular prisms right now to map out exactly what I want the structure of the dumpster to look like. That dumpster definitely seems a little too small. Oh wait, no, actually, you know what? That's too small, Snoggy. Okay, no big deal. I'll just use the scale to my advantage. So this thing's too small, correct? So maybe what I can do is let me make a new layer, lower this down. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a bunch of trash bags over here. So maybe let me lower my thing. Yeah, we could put another trash bag here. Maybe one over here. Make sure these overlap so we can show some depth. Another good person is Will Eisner, who created the graphic novel and sort of a hand visual symbology that the latest graphic artists used. Yeah, he was great. I actually was just looking at just reading about him the other day when I was studying a bunch of art theory online. But he's great. He's awesome. I love his drawings too. Like, they have like this kind of charm to it that's just kind of only exclusive to him. But yeah, it's really amazing. Like, like when people have done art for a long time and you see their paintings, you cannot stand but just be amazed at what they made. And I think that's one of the greatest things about art. Like, you cannot stand but be amazed at what people have made when they take their time into their craft. It's quite stunning, and that's kind of part of the experience why I love drawing so much. Like, it's just, you get to create not just a piece, you get to create people, environments, and worlds that is exclusively your own. Like, it's such a thrilling experience, and quite frankly, I will be more than happy to do it professionally one day. My goal is to become a concept artist for a game studio. I'm not sure which game studio, but I'd like to pursue that as a passionate career. So I'm not good enough yet for the industry, but I am working towards it right now. He was the first person to teach sequential art at New York School for the Arts. He was amazing. Really? I didn't know that. You know what's funny? Because I used to live in New York. Oh, that's... If I was able to go there, that would be awesome. But yeah. As you can see, I made a mistake with the scale of the dumpster, but that's okay. I used it to my advantage, and I put a bunch of trash bags up here. Let me just put one big giant one up here. There we go. Alright, so we got this done. So I'm going to put the text box there, but I'm going to see if I can put something up here. So this is the night sky, right? So let me just mark this right here as the sky. And now I'm going to use a shading element to make the reader kind of know that what time it is. So I'm going to make this at night. So I'm going to shade this a little darker, and it's going to affect the lighting of this character right here. Wow, really loving it. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys like it. No cap. I'm kind of nervous because like I've done a lot of panels in other conventions, but this is definitely one of the biggest ones I've done, and I was kind of nervous and what's up. But you know what? That's okay. You know, I think is I'm not very used to sharing myself drawing because usually most of the time as a lone wolf I always just draw in solitude. I don't really share the drawings that I make. So the fact that I'm able to do this panel just gives me a change of pace. So let me just what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit of a gradient just to do a little bit of hatching around the areas. Lower it down. Let me cross hatch this to make it a little darker. You're doing great. Oh, great. Awesome. That's good to hear. Don't worry, I got you guys. I can. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you guys have any questions, like, please feel free to ask me. Like, I have a lot of experience behind my belt, so I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. The Lone Pony here is here to help you. So please feel free to ask anything. Don't be afraid to ask anything. So I'm just going to run this through. Okay, so I got this guy done. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of my soft brushes, and I'm going to slowly get a little green in here, just to make sure that he's a nice guy. I apologize if my comic's not in color, guys. This was a stylistic approach that I went with the comic, and I wish I could show the color of if I could show the color of coloring of comics. That would be a much more fun experience, but that's okay. That's fine. I'm using the element of shading to align the sky. I'm going to use the moon as a focal point so that we can draw it back to Elgody. Let me grab a, let me see, maybe I can grab a, yeah, you know what, I'm going to use white. It's a very kind of powerful color. Don't use white a lot if you're doing color. Like, I'm just going to let you know about that right now. Do not use white a lot. If your comic is colored, do not use white a lot. I read a lot of pony comics with no color, and it's okay, really. Oh, okay. I guess that makes me feel a little better, because, I don't know. I just kind of like felt like, you know, this comic, you know, could be in color, but like I was thinking, you know, I feel like for the feeling and mood that this comic I wanted to present, I feel like black and white would be the best way to do it. But yeah. Okay, so I got the crescent moon in. Now let's outline it so it doesn't look like it's just standing there. I put this on the right layer, right? Okay, I did. Let me give this moon a little tilt. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to this layer, gonna put it under it, and I want to make the moon glow. I want it to have a little bit of a glow on it. So I'm gonna go grab my airbrush, set this to white, and we're gonna give the moon a little glowy vibe. We're gonna give it an aura. Oh, that looks kind of dope, not gonna lie. I just got shade the back in it a little more, and this will look cool. Let me grab my thing. Can anyone post a link to the gallery? I'm feeling shamelessly lazy. The gallery. Wait, are you talking about the comic gallery? The one that I have. The one I have on DA. I can post that for y'all. I don't mind. Here, actually, let me do that right now. Grab this. Let me grab my DA. I have DA always open just in case anyone replies to my artwork or whatever. So let me paste that here. There you go. I have a bunch of paintings there too, so if you want to take a look at those, you know, I love painting. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love painting. It takes a lot of time, but it's so worth it. Like, come on. Alright, there we go. The moon's there. Alrighty, so we got the moon done. Let me see if I can maybe add a few stars. You want to add stars, Snuggy? Yeah, why not? Let's add a few stars. You got a little bit of white. Just add a few stars. Just little scribbles of stars. Oh, here's a life hack. If you want to make something a little darker and you don't have a lot of time, just duplicate it. There. Works every time. It's one of my techniques I use when I make this comic. I know things seem a little messy and it's going outside my bezels, but that's okay. We'll be able to fix that later in post. Okay, so I think I'm done for the sky for now. I'll add a few more details as I wish. Let me go get the background. Oh geez, yeah, by enabling that money. 99% of the time it works every time, right? I know you from the other Ponies Online server, sir. I know you. You know what's up. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me get this gray. So, I already got the shop end. I guess maybe what I can do is I can... this is a dark alleyway. How about adding another garbage dump just to show a little bit of scale? Oh, by the way, anytime you want to use scale... not scale. Anytime you want to draw an environment in a comic, definitely use reoccurring elements. So in this case, I'm going to use another dumpster to show the scale that is going on in this comic. So let me... not this comic, this environment, Snuggy. Anyways, let me draw another dumpster right here. I'm gonna make this not as visual, since Elgody's already in front of it. Let me raise this a little, just so you guys can see. I'm just gonna write this through. I'm gonna put a little bit of a tower here just to mark exactly where the garbage is gonna be. And this wall has to end somewhere, so I guess we can make it end right here. So let me just mark this right here, because this is exactly where the walls will end, and it will go into the city. So let me... what? Yeah, I was literally just looking for my pen. I don't know where it went. How did you get so good with drawing pony anatomy? Do you have any tips or trips? Tricks, Snoggy. You learn how to... I can't read today. So the way I got good at pony anatomy is, well, at least from my way, the way I did it was I literally just observed a bunch of actual real-life ponies, and I just looked at their bone structure. Because, like, the bone structure really kind of makes the form of a lot of animals. You know, it's the kind of the major thing that makes the shape the way it is. You know, like, our human skull is shaped like a huge spear on our head and then just goes all the way down. That's why our heads are shaped like that. So, given that logic, you think that that since pony legs are shaped like a zigzag in their bone structure, I kind of apply that knowledge into doing the actual anatomy of the pony. It also takes a lot of practice, for sure. Like even if you know every single thing about pony anatomy, it doesn't mean that you'll draw it very consistently most of the time. So my advice to you is, if you're trying to learn anatomy, literally go straight into Google, search up pony skeleton, and it will give you a whole bunch of resources. Or you can access the resources that are available in the fandom. There's a lot of resources in the fandom for pony anatomy, so absolutely take that. Like that certainly helped me a lot. A lot of the resources in the fandom certainly helped me get good at doing pony anatomy. But yeah, that's really how I got so good at it. I'm still working on for a few other things, but so far I got a good foundation of what pony anatomy is for now. Since Elgody is gonna be right here, what if I can put anything in the background? Dark alleyway with a background. I already have a shop there with a bunch of dumpster. I guess maybe what I can do is I can put a vehicle in the back. Yeah, Yeah, yes. That's yes, yes, I must do that. So let me put a big giant truck. Like a big giant cybernetic truck. Maybe I could put the Cybertruck as a reference. That'd be cool. I could do that. Oh, that's good advice. Thanks. I really love your. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is really a thrilling experience for me, and I'm enjoying every single moment of it. So this truck is not looking as much as I wanted to right now, but once I give it a little time, it'll start looking like a truck. Maybe I can. Let me draw the fender out right here then, just so it could be much easier. You see what I mean when it means like drawing elements to make sure people can see it? So I'm going to draw the fender like this. Usually truck fenders, actually most trucks, at least for delivery such, actually do not have doors for safety purposes. So I'm going to put a gap right here. I'm going to add a little antenna right here. Let me just add a little bit of a gap right here to put a placement for the wheel. Oh, I'm telling you guys, like, if you're ever gonna get into drawing vehicles, which you probably will at some point, definitely make sure you know where to put your wheels, because wheels is going to be your worst enemy. And not just wheels, also fenders. Fenders suck too. I hate fenders. Optimus Prime in the background. I never really watched Transformers, but I did remember seeing the first movie in theaters. Like, it was okay. I mean, I didn't think it. Fewer polygon runs faster. That's really how it is with a lot of other things. Even Chio of Appleseed fame used the tricks that create detail in battle, so details, while important, aren't essential. We're back on. Yeah. Like, I had problems with this too, where, like, I would put an obsessive amount of detail into a scene, and things would just be all over the place. Like, I just couldn't get a viewer to comprehend where to look first, and it was definitely one of the biggest mistakes I made during making this comic. But that's okay. We learn from our mistakes, and that's how we make amazing art pieces. So I got this truck here. Maybe I can like maybe really minor details. Like, it doesn't have to be super detailed because it's really not going to be seen. Let me just make a little bit of a door right there, like a little bit of a fence. I'm gonna put a few clouds up here. Now that is looking fine. I really like that. Wow, time flies, doesn't it? Wow, it's 7:48. Jeez Louise. I don't know, that happens to me all the time. Anytime I get so invested into a piece, I just get in the zone and I just lose track of time. But that's okay. That's fine. At least I got to map out the environment. How about I go finish Alchemy for you guys then? Let me just okay, this can stay. Let me just lower the opacity of this so I can focus on. You know what? I'm actually gonna don't disable it actually. Just keep it there. I'm gonna lower the opacity of the truck too, so I could just focus on Alchemy. Alrighty. Don't worry, I got you guys. I can get this done. True, that time flies really fast. It does. Time flies really fast when you're focused. Let me just lower this a little. So let me just grind the snout. I'm gonna add her brow here. Just add tension to it. Lower her eyelid. Just show that she's a little upset. What the hell is that? Is that eyebrow? Yeah, I think I put it a little bit too diagonal, so I'm gonna fix that. I did not want to do that. Gee, I keep making my eraser too big. Oh, thank you. You know, if you really like to see my eyeliner art, you definitely should see my vectors. I think you guys, yeah, I had a vector literally earlier when the stream literally just started. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I had like a bunch of really cool vector work that I did over the years. Let me just give her a little bit. Oh, she looks so sad. Damn, I feel guilty drawing this now. Let me just give her tooth. Let me just give her little things that are on the side of her cheek. Damn, she looks so freaking sad. I feel so bad. I feel so bad drawing this. You know what? I'm ending this stream because I'm feel bad. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not doing that. What kind of drawing program are you using? I'm using Sketchbook Pro 7. This is the desktop version. They also have it in mobile. It's also free, by the way. I bought it when it came out, when it was like you had to pay $60 for it, but it's actually free now, and I highly recommend it if you want to get into art. Like it's an awesome tool, great tools, excellent drawing software, and if you want to paint in it, it's even better. Honestly, give it a try. Give her hair right here, give her mane. Let me just mark her neck right here. Ward it down. Let's make her hair a little wrecked. Just lining that up. Yeah, go ahead, Mario-san. I like literally go get it. It's awesome. I love using it. It's incredible. The tools you have on it is like really great. And man, the 2 and 3 point perspective ones are even better. I use them all the time. They're so good. Okay, so let me go draw her hoof. Drawing her hoof, so land right here. Reoccurring curves theory to make sure that this looks correct. Beautiful. Let me get her tail in. He has a little bit of a tie in her tail. Like, you know, some real life horses have this too. So let me just put a ribbon on there. Let me run this new. Run this tail through, that's fine. Keep it free flowing. I feel like this character's missing something. I feel like he's missing something. I just can't remember what it is. Also, that leg is drawn badly. It's supposed to be facing this way. There, fixed. Let me fix her mane too. Wow, it's clearing out pretty nicely. Anytime you see something to clear out pretty nicely when you take the onion skin off it, that's how you know you did a good job with the structure. Why is it drawing like that? I did not choose that. Why is it doing that? Like, that's not the color I want. The hell? Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Is it thinking I'm using an eraser? Cause there we go. Yeah, that's probably just a glitch, but that's okay. Oh yeah, I remember now. I forgot our wings. Oh, that liner is really dang good. I have draw doing liner. Well, everyone does at some point. You know, it's a struggle that everybody has. But you know what? That's okay. You know, I think in anything you're going to struggle at doing something. You know, it's not everything's gonna be easy. But you know what? Embrace that. Embrace that things are not gonna be easy. Take a step forward and just say, you know what? Things are not gonna be easy. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to improve. And just take off from there. Use that as your motivator. Just line this up. Nice. Thinnize it. Lower it down. Wing's fine, but the leg is a little too angled. So I'm going to done. And let me get this thing. Where is it? Where's the head? Yeah, one of the biggest things I definitely please organize your layers. It'll save you a whole bunch of time. Certainly put them in folders. I always put all my panels in folders. Please do that. It takes a few seconds and it will save you a whole bunch of time. So please ever so slightly organize your layers. Especially if you're painting. Please organize your layers. Let me shade these things in. Oh, I love the color I'm doing on this. It's sick. Put a cut under. Ignore that. That was just my other PC. My layers are never organized. Then, oh well, that's something you certainly need to change. I highly advise you change that. Seriously, I honestly, like, please, like, I don't know. I cannot operate if I don't organize my layers. I just don't know where everything is. It takes a whole bunch of time to find it. Ridiculous. I don't want to deal with that. It's ridiculous. So I always organize my layers. Alright, so the basic structure of the character is complete. I'll still need to shade it, color it, and do all that. Unfortunately, I cannot do that much in the stream right now, but I could still get a decent amount done. Let me just shade this real quick, and then we'll end the stream there. Because we got just to respect the other panels that will be doing other streams later. Just give this a little bit of a shade, you know, just to show that she's in somewhere. This thin. It's probably not what I wanted to do. That's okay. It's fine. I'll fix it later. But yeah, that is the panel, guys. I want to thank you all so much for coming to the stream. It's been a thrilling experience, and I really enjoyed sharing all this with you. And it's been such great things. Like I'm so glad that I even got to show you that I'm doing this. Like, it really looks cool. I really like how I did it. I guess you guys can take a look at the other ones if you like. Here's one, the sushi place, and here's one right here. I love this one. Look at this heart-lace ongly monster. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate all of you coming today. It was such a thrilling experience, and I appreciate it all greatly. If you like to see any of my artwork or anywhere else, please feel free to check my TA that I left a link over in the chat just a bit. I'll leave another one in a bit. And if you have any questions or any concerns, just feel free to message me, DM me. I'm in the BABSCon server, so feel free to message me. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And I'll see y'all later. So have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the convention, and I'll see you all later. Take care. Bye.